Hello ladies and gents, and welcome to this brand new YouTube channel that I'm launching today. I am ATechieSmith, and this channel is just going to be dedicated to PC building, PC hardware, technology, and my own brand of nerdiness as well. I wanted to do a video today just to introduce myself, talk a little bit about how I got into PC building, and why that might be something you'd want to consider for yourself as well. I've pretty much always had PCs, and the last computer I bought was in 2010. It was a Dell Studio XPS 8100, and it was a really great machine, but last year in 2017 it was really starting to show signs of age, slowing down, all the usual stuff. So I was starting to look into my next computer purchase. Luckily, a friend of mine at work told me, why don't you just build your own? Now, that seemed like a pretty daunting task to me. I had uninstalled RAM and reinstalled RAM. I'd pulled out my graphics card at one point and reinstalled it. But the idea of starting from scratch and building a PC from CPU up was pretty daunting to me. But I did some research, I did some reading on some forums, watched some videos, and as you can see, I had a pretty successful build for this guy right behind me. Just a great little first PC, performance PC to do the things that I wanted it to do, which includes gaming, video editing, and some other things like that. So, why build a PC versus just buy one? Well, there's a few reasons. First, of course, is cost. That's the main thing to think about when deciding on something to buy and how to buy it. Do you want to buy a computer, or do you want to buy components and put them together? What's the benefit in terms of cost? Well, right now, it's not the best that it has been. You used to be able to build a computer for cheaper than you could buy one with comparable parts. Now, that's not so much the case. There are large PC integrators that have access to PC components at MSRP, and it's really hard to compete with them individually. But prices have really been driven up recently by inflated RAM pricing, as well as graphics card pricing going through the roof. All of that's starting to settle a little bit, and prices are getting back to a place where it at least makes a lot more sense to build your own PC. Having said all that though, you can still get a lot of bang for your buck by being patient and keeping an eye out for deals on the internet. Another good reason to build your own PC is that it's custom. You are in complete control over it, and the other PC integrators that are out there, even the high-end ones, are going to give you some parameters that you have to work within in terms of components, look, case, feel, all that kind of stuff. If you're buying the components yourself and building it yourself, you don't have any of those limitations. You can build a very simple, non-tempered glass case that works as an HTPC, focused mostly on performance and what you need it to do, or you could build a computer that doubles as lighting for a rave party. It's up to you. It's custom. Another thing too to think about is that it's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to gain new skills and to enter into a new world. I didn't know, as I said, much about computer building when I started, but the whole process of learning, of watching videos, reading forums, and doing comparisons of components and all of this kind of thing, that was really fun for me, and it was also a chance to learn something new, something that I hadn't done before. And I always have enjoyed learning, and I think that any chance that you have to increase your skill set, to broaden your horizons, is something you should jump at if you have the opportunity. Another thing too is the community that you get to join into. There is a broad and deep community of PC enthusiasts, PC builders, and what's great about that is you don't really have to worry about getting in too much of a bind, because there's plenty of people out there in forums and videos and so on that are happy to help you if you get yourself into a tight spot and need some advice or some tips or troubleshooting or something like that. It's a really great community to be a part of. Ultimately, I think the biggest reason for building a PC yourself is that it's fun. For me, from the very beginning to the very end, when I was watching videos and learning, when I was buying components, when I started to actually put them together, and at the end of it come down to having my own PC that I built, it was just a lot of fun. And at the end of it, you get basically something that you can take pride in, something that you can say, I built that. It's me. It's got my personality in it. It's got the decisions that I made in terms of how it would look, the schemes that I wanted with RGB, LEDs, tempered glass, and all of that. It's all part of me that was put into that. And it's something that I can take pride in, which I really couldn't do if I had just bought a really nice shiny machine. I could say, well, I bought that, but this I can say I built it. And there's few things for me that were as much of a joy than that moment when I had put everything together, everything was plugged in, I flipped the power switch, and everything came on. Well, for the most part. There were a couple of things there that were a little bit wonky, and I had some work to do to get all the RGB going correctly. But for the most part, it was a textbook successful build. And that was very satisfying and gratifying at the end of it. So those are just some reasons that I would say you might be interested in getting into PC building yourself. Now, how do you get started into all of it? If you're like me and you really hadn't had much experience doing anything with PC hardware, where do you start? What are some things that you can do to get you on that path to completing your first build? Well, the first thing is there's plenty of videos out there on YouTube, and there's a lot of videos that help you with just specifics of building to general builds, and just so you can kind of familiarize yourself with the geography and sort of the process of building a PC, and all kinds of different videos on tips. One of the first videos that I watched that I found very, very helpful, perhaps one of the most helpful videos I watched when I was getting started, was a video by Kyle on his channel Bitwit on how to select PC components. And I've linked that video in the description below. Another video that was very helpful was one from Paul at PaulsHardware, which is a video about what to do after you've built your shiny new PC. How do you go from having a BIOS on your screen to Windows and a computer that you can use and that's tuned for performance? And that's a great video, and I've linked that in the description below as well. There's all kinds of things, and you start to get into different channels and different individuals, and there's a lot of information out there. If you wanted to go all the way out there and do your first build with a custom loop cooling system, there's videos out there to help walk you through that process. If you were looking for something a little bit more modest, maybe a specialized PC, an HTPC or something like that, there's videos out there for that as well. So there's just a wealth of information out there that's available from the community of PC enthusiasts and PC builders to help you get on your own path to building your first PC. There's also a great website which I use still. I use it to part out all my builds, to sort of test configurations and sort of see kind of, what it might look like to help envision that. And that's a website called PC Part Picker. And this website allows you to create a build, and it gives you the best pricing that you're going to get in the market. It searches Newegg, Amazon, other places like that. It's going to give you the best pricing that's available at that moment, and any deals that might be included for like mail-in rebates and things like that. It's also going to kind of help steer you away from making bad component choices. Like I said, that video from Kyle is really going to dig deep and show you the things to watch out for in terms of compatibility, but PC Part Picker has its own algorithm built in to sort of help guide you in that direction as well. It's not going to let you pick a Intel CPU and an AMD motherboard, for instance. It's also going to alert you if there's some compatibility issues, just some things to look deeper into if you need to do that. One of the coolest things about PC Part Picker for me was the ability to create an account and to set up price alarms for components that I was looking at. Once I had settled on my build, I set pricing alarms for the components that I wanted to get for that build. You can do a little bit of price research on it to see what the price history has been, and then you can say, I want to pay X amount of money for this component. And whenever that component drops to that price or lower, you're going to get pinged with an email that's going to tell you, hey, your component's on sale at your price, come buy it. And so that was really great. I saved a lot of money being patient and waiting for those deals to come through when I was getting all the components for my computer. So all around, it's a really great website. It also has builds that are already there for you, some build guides and some completed builds from other users of the website that are going to kind of give you some ideas of where to start in constructing your own build. Yeah, so other than that, there's not really anything else that you need to do. There's forums that you can check out to sort of look into comparing components. You know, there's subreddits and things like that that you can dive into and do more research. But the videos and PC Part Picker, they're going to give you that baseline to start your investigation, start your research, start the learning process so that you can be well on your way to completing a successful first build that's going to be hassle-free. You're probably going to run into a couple of hiccups. I know I did. There were some things when I did my build the first time that were some frustrations, and it took a little while. A lot of that was looking at the small print on the instruction manuals and all that kind of stuff that I had. But it was my first build, and you can allow for that. And don't be discouraged by that. It's a process, and it's about enjoying the journey and enjoying the process and getting to the end of it and having something that you can be proud of, that's usable and can supply you with several years of great use. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. I wanted to kind of keep it short as a first video that I'm putting out there. If you liked it, be sure to give it a like below. Subscribe to the channel for future videos. I've got a parts list coming up that I'm going to talk about the components that went into this, and then I've got a build video that's going to be coming up later after that as well. Feel free also to leave a comment in the comment section below, but be gentle, it is my first time. That's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. I am ATechieSmith, and I'll catch you in the next video.